religious people right? Is there some kind of eternity? Is there heaven? Is there hell? And all of these questions were hounding me more and more and more. And I could go on and tell you many, many stories about violence and wickedness, and also how many times I was saved from death. On 2 different occasions I nearly drowned, very seriously, serious enough for people to be given medals for saving my life, and on another occasion for a man to save my life who owned a boathouse in Dumfries, and he saved my life. I was literally dead in his eyes. I was floating down the river, and I was caught up in a whirlpool underneath the local bridge here called Buccleuch Street Bridge, and I was going around in this whirlpool, and this man who owned the boathouse, who now owns a fishing tackle shop at the bottom of the Vennel here in Dumfries, he got out and got into a rowing boat and came over and got me into the boat. And in his own words he said that he thought I was a corpse. But he got me onto the banking and he gave me artificial respiration. And he said, in his own words again, it was like a whole bucket of water came out of your mouth all at once. You just opened your mouth and you went, "Woo!" and all this water came spewing out of my mouth. And I turned round and I said to him, "Thank you, mister." And I got up and walked away. On other occasions, I was thrown out of a car that was doing 70 miles an hour and my hands were tied behind my back at the time. On another occasion, I was thrown out of a window 30 feet onto concrete and I walked away. I had broken arms, broken legs. I was beaten unconscious by cops. I was beaten unconscious by prison officers. I was beaten unconscious by gangs. I've been stabbed 6 times. I've been shot on the right kneecap. I've been beaten with as many sticks. I've been hit with axes. I've been kicked unconscious as many times. And yet I've also been thrown through windows. I've had so many scrapes, so many times hit by cars when I was drunk, going up in the air, falling down onto the bonnet, and yet walking away. My life was just one great big mess, and yet, for some reason, I could not get rid of it. Even when I tried to get rid of it, it did not work. On one occasion I cut open my left wrist and I was lying on a bed in hospital. It was actually the time when they told me I wouldn't walk again, and a Canadian nurse who was on a swap from Canada with a girl from Edinburgh who was over in Canada for 6 months, she got lost in the hospital, and at 2 o'clock in the morning she took the wrong turning and she walked in and seen all the blood under the bed, raised the alarm, and my life was saved. On other many occasions as well, I was attacked with so many different kinds of weapons, so many different things, but to go on and on about that is not the point. The point is I was totally lost. I was also in prison 16 times. I was 7 times in Berlin prison. I was twice in the special unit in Brixton prison in London. I was in Wandsworth prison. I was in Pentonville prison. I was in Springfield Mental Hospital for the criminally insane in a padded cell and a straitjacket on a Section 3, which anyone who's been in prison will know what a Section 3 is. It is every prisoner's nightmare. It means that the authorities think you are insane and they put you on a Section 3 and you're grilled by Home Office psychiatrists, and 999 people out of 1,000 who go on a Section 3 get the rubber stamp for Broadmoor, Grendon, Park Lane or any of these top security hospitals. Also, I was in the Guernsey States prison in the Channel Islands. I was in Camp Hill in the Isle of Wight. I was also in Parkhurst prison in